Believe it or not, but this game turns 10 years old today, so I wanted to go back to see what all the hype was about. So as the game begins, our protagonist is being waterboarded, which is bad enough, but then my ears pick up.
Giving up the ghost now, didn't we?
Oh no, Britain, with their beans on toast. It's a fate worse than death. Anyway, the guards let the prisoner sleep it off, only to wake him up and it's straight into another bath.
What do I win?
Another bath!
But I'm not dirt.
Now Gray, that's the protagonist's name by the way, manages to escape using the ancient and forbidden method. He then proceeds to murderize his captors, find a gun, and take a hostage who then tries to escape, so Gray goes full air on him.
I'm guessing you don't know how hard it is to break someone's neck. No.
Now this prison escape alerted the guards, so Gray proceeds to yeet himself off of a cliff. A month earlier, we learned that Gray's codename is Galahad, as he and his glorious mustache are a knight of the Round Table. Yes, like in King Arthur. And Gray and this girl named Igraine are on a mission to hunt down some escaped prisoners with machine guns in the 1880s. You know, I'm starting to think this game is not fully historically accurate. Anyway, they soon meet up with this random Frenchman getting his freak on.
Lafayette. Ah, monsieur. This lady requires my attention.
Marquis, your attention is required elsewhere.
I assure you, mademoiselle, that only the vow of fidelity prevents me from accepting your
Oh,
invitation.
Marquis, you mustn't leave now.
Sexy.
This random Frenchman's name is Lafayette. Wait, Lafayette? Like George Washington's illegitimate French son? What the hell? How is he here like 100 years later? Some freaky, dicky, timey-wimey stuff is happening here. Anyway, we continue on until, out of freaking nowhere, werewolves. And then to hunt them down, Gray uses this Terminator gun that shoots lightning. Okay, somebody better start explaining something real soon, because what the actual hell is going on? Okay, so I'm about to drop some lore, so pay attention. Basically, these knights manage to live hundreds of years thanks to drinking this black goop venom juice that heals all their wounds, and the reason why they have all these futuristic weapons is thanks to Nikola Tesla, who is also here for some reason. As for werewolves, well, basically they're mutants, and a war broke out between them and regular humans, with King Arthur leading the charge against them. Now, it's centuries later, and finally humans are winning thanks to the new inventions and the goop water. All this is explained by this old dude who looks like he's 2 days away from retirement. Anyway, the whole round table gathers around to see this ancient-ass old man talk about a rebellion or something. I don't know, I wasn't really paying attention. But the gist of it is basically go and stop whatever it is they're doing with the squad. Then we go to visit Nikola Tesla, who is basically the Q of the Knights, and he just hooks you up. Anyway, they head out, and Gray gets paired with a horny Frenchman who immediately leads him into a brothel.
If one of you ladies would reach into my pocket.
But they are not there to get freaky and instead use it as a shortcut. Then they proceed to shoot up the entire city until they meet up with Igraine and Percival to go hunt werewolves in an abandoned hospital. Yep, definitely a great idea and not at the beginning of a horror movie. So Gray heads into the basement by himself and manages to run into an alpha and immediately loses his gun, so it's time to fight a werewolf with a knife.
Not a great plan.
You got knocked the fuck out, man!
But luckily, Izzy comes to the rescue with an axe, but the werewolf takes that personally and says,
I'm going to break you
What?
like a Kit Kat bar.
Now this wakes Gray from his coma and he savagely murderizes the werewolf.
She's almost dead.
She's dead enough.
Now you might be thinking that Izzy is dead because she got folded like a pretzel, but nope, she just needed a shot of the black venom juice and she's back up and running in no time. Tesla comes out of nowhere and hands the group grappling hooks as they plan on hopping from one airship to another that the rebels have taken over. So the group zips over there, and Gray together with Frenchie take over the airship, which is basically a flying Titanic. It even has a ballroom complete with Leo DiCaprio painting naked chicks in the corner. Anyway, the point of this mission is to rescue Lucan, his brother, who is the commander of the Knights. So a shootout occurs, they rescue their brother and evacuate the ship, but the rebel decides to...
You don't have to do this.
I said, what the hell is boom?
Gray manages to survive, but Percival dies and his position is taken up by the horny Frenchman. Then this walking skeleton starts roasting the hell out of the dead Percival. Like, damn dude, the man's not even on the ground yet. But then a bomb goes off and the rebels start attacking the president of the East India Trading Company. And if the Pirates of the Caribbean movies have taught me anything, it's that they're the bad guys.
It's just good business.
The Knights manage to save the president, but Gray, filled with vengeance, decides to follow the rebels and somehow manages to get a grenade launcher and goes off on a rampage until there's one rebel left, so Gray goes full Batman on him. Next, he heads to a brothel and starts getting drunk on absinthe, of all things, until this Indian woman shows up. Her name is Lakshmi, and she's the leader of the rebels. She leads Gray to find proof at the docks, and surprise, surprise, the East India Trading Company is transporting vampires to America. And the president is also a vampire himself. In fact, he's Jack the Ripper. So Gray's like, oh hell no, and just starts setting everything on fire.
I made a mistake. I was having a daymare.
So Gray is attacked by some werewolves, and this scene makes me laugh because he just puts a werewolf in a headlock. Like, bro, that was your bright idea? Later on, Gray talks to the hating-ass old man and tries to explain the situation, but the old dude is like,
Heresy.
and so Gray asks his son Lucan for some help instead, and Lucan is like, of course I'll help you.
Would I lie?
So Gray and Lucan Assassin's Creed their way into the president's house, because if you don't remember, he's a vampire. Then the Indian princess shows up and Lucan instantly tries to boom her in the face, but Gray defeats the situation and they manage to find the president butt-ass naked with his ding-a-ling swinging back and forth with no shame at all, having a midnight snack. And as they are about to box, Lucan shows up and betrays Gray because, surprise, surprise, he's a werewolf.
Oh, the deception. The betrayal, man. You deceived me.
I mean, the dude's name is Lucan, what did you expect? And these dudes start boxing, and by boxing, I mean giving each other hugs and yeeting off a balcony. Then Lucan starts throwing hands, but Gray's like, not today, and uses a knife to cut him open like, damn, you guys were best friends like 30 seconds ago. Maybe chill out a second? Gray chases after Lucan, who embraces him in a loving embrace, but Gray's like, I'm too mad for hugs, and stabs him in the guts. And just when things are about to get interesting, Igraine's annoying ass shows up and arrests Gray because this freaky ass vampire says that Gray attacked him for no reason. And then this hating ass old man sentences Gray to death. Makes me just wanna... This brings us to the beginning of the game where Gray escaped prison by yeeting himself off of a cliff.
Cryosleep? No. There's no way I'm gonna...
It is fortunate cryosleep does not work on robots.
He gets rescued by Tesla, who nurses him back to health, and he's getting his strength back. Igraine is the one hunting him down because she's just as big of a hater as her ancient ass old dad. Makes me just wanna... But at least the horny Frenchman is a homie because he just lets Gray go. Eventually, Gray finds Lucan in Tesla's lab and they get to swinging with knives until Lucan is like,
transformation. And spoiler warning, it's not getting old anytime soon.
And they get to squabbling with Gray stabbing Lucan like 20 times in the guts. And then that hating ass old man teleports in again and is like, oh, I knew my son was a vampire because I murderized his daddy back in the day. And then he has the gall to ask Gray not only to shoot his son in the face, but also take the blame for it. I cannot stand this man. Oh, now everyone is hunting down Gray for the murder of Lucan just because this old bastard doesn't want to take accountability for his actions. I'm so mad. Anyway, Gray is out here getting hunted by the whole city, but at least he gets to meet Mug just like he's Batman. And that's how the game ends.
Well, at least it didn't end like The Sopranos, where it just cut to black in mid-sentence.